Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. All right. If you don't know what that term means, go watch Friday. Okay. Bye, Felicia is a term from the movie Friday, directed by Ice Cube, where in the movie, he pretty much told a character named Felicia in the movie that he didn't really want to see her anymore. So he said, bye, Felicia. So that's where that term comes from. Anybody that doesn't know. Kevin Stefanski. Bye, Felicia. All right. Kevin Stefanski. 8-26 in his last 2 seasons with my Cleveland Browns. That's not good enough to keep your job. Okay? Sure, you made a furious campaign at the end of the season. You won 2 games. The locker room was lit. And, it was touching that, he did care about his team. And, he preached team until the end. But, hey, we were told we're going back to a merit-based society, right? That's what I was told. So if we're going on merit, there is no way you can keep Kevin Stefanski as the Cleveland Browns head coach, considering that he's 8-26 in his last 34 games. That's 2 full seasons. Okay? At some point, the accumulation of losses are just too great to turn a blind eye at. Also, in that tenure, Kevin Stefanski had 13 quarterbacks. 13 quarterbacks. I literally heard people in legacy media in Cleveland. They said, oh, Kevin Stefanski just needs his quarterback. Mary Kay Cabot literally said that like last week. He needs to get his own quarterback. He had 13 quarterbacks. What are you talking about? He had Baker Mayfield. He had Deshaun Watson. He had Jameis Winston. You talking about he didn't have his quarterback. Well, you better make way with what you got. Okay? And it's coming out that he really wasn't a fan of the Deshaun Watson trade. Okay? He wasn't a fan of that at all. Well, I don't care if you're a fan of it at all. You need to make it work. Okay? That's what the organization decided. And it seemed like since they got Deshaun Watson, it almost felt like the writing was on the wall for Kevin Stefanski. If he truly did not want Deshaun Watson, and he was like, he made a ruckus about it. Maybe he did make a ruckus about it. Maybe he did. I'm just speculating right now. But that's rumors out that he did not want Deshaun Watson. Okay? If that's what the organization decided, and you didn't want Deshaun Watson, you should have handed in your resignation papers at the end of last season. Okay, after you went 3-14. I'm just saying, if those are the reports that are out. But still, do not tell me that you didn't have your quarterback. You literally was like, Dylan Gabriel is better than Shedeur Sanders. That's a fireable offense. Y'all picked Dylan Gabriel with the top 100 pick. And then y'all placed him ahead of Shedeur Sanders, sabotaging the season. Shedeur Sanders, I don't care what the numbers look like. Did you win games? Dylan Gabriel had 6 starts. Dylan Gabriel went 1-5 in his starts. Okay? Shedeur Sanders had 7 starts. Shedeur Sanders went 3-4. I don't want to hear anything about anybody talking about, oh, Shedeur, he only threw for 111 yards. Dylan Gabriel threw for 116 yards in his only win. So don't say Dylan Gabriel and try to be like, oh, Shedeur only threw for 111 yards. Because y'all told me winning is what matters. Now you want to move the goalpost when it comes to Shedeur Sanders, and then you want to move the goalpost some more when it comes to Kevin Stefanski. This is where I can tell y'all messy. Shedeur is 3-4, and then y'all overlooked that Kevin Stefanski was 8-26 in his last 34 games. Y'all make all kind of excuses for Kevin Stefanski while expecting a rookie quarterback to just make miracles happen. What about the head coach? What about the head coach? He's supposed to be the adult in the room. Once upon a time, he said that Baker Mayfield wasn't the adult in the room. Remember that? And people talking about, oh, if he gets fired, he'll get a job immediately. So what? Good riddance. I don't care if he gets another job somewhere else. That's irrelevant to me. I don't care. Okay, I care about the Cleveland Browns, and I care about the well-being of my Cleveland Browns and what we're going to do going forward. But that's a whole separate video. I want to talk about Kevin Stefanski and the merit-based firing that just went place, because it was definitely justified based on his merit. And I don't care if he's a good guy. I don't care if he's a family guy. Look, man, at some point, you are what your record says you are. Okay? The Browns have not been a good team the last 2 years. And that's directly on Kevin Stefanski. How many times have you watched the Cleveland Browns game as a Cleveland Browns fan, and you're like, man, what the F is Kevin Stefanski doing out there? Why is this team not prepared to play? I know a lot of Browns fans this season, they have had that thought. I've had that thought many a times. I've been like, hey, this team does not seem like they are prepared to play today. Okay? There were too many times in Kevin Stefanski's tenure where the Browns got blown out. Okay? This is something that national media is not going to say. Okay? Because they don't follow the Cleveland Browns like your boy do. This is my team. Okay? I didn't start liking the Cleveland Browns because Shedeur Sanders came to the Cleveland Browns. I was a Cleveland Browns fan long before that. So please don't go there. Please don't act like I just came on this gravy train. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to be a Cleveland Browns fan because it's popular now because Shedeur Sanders is with the team. No, I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. So please, I don't want anybody talking about I'm a fake Cleveland Browns fan. I actually saw somebody say that in the comments. F you, whoever that person was. I got him up out of here because I cut people off quick. I'll be playing that stuff. I'm a grown man, okay? I don't got time for, trying to please people or being a people pleaser. I'm just going to come on here. I'm going to give my opinion. If you don't like it, I don't care, okay? But anyways, Kevin Stefanski, so many times this season, special teams unprepared. That goes back to the head coach. The defense was prepared. But there are some weeks where the defense, like the Tennessee game where Shedeur threw for 364. Let's talk about that. Okay, inside that game, Kevin Stefanski went for it on fourth. Oh, well, my bad. That was the Niners game. Niners game, they were down 10-8. He went for it on fourth down with a tight end. Sneak. Bro, you're just too smart for your britches, man. All right? He should have emptied the clip. I hardly barely see any trick plays. Bro, if you know you about to get fired, I'm running every trick play possible. Okay? If y'all about to get me up out of here, I'm emptying the, you know what? CLIP. I know what I mean. I'm just saying, man. It just seemed like the Browns, they beat down Kevin Stefanski, and he was a defeated man. All right? I don't want no defeated man as my head coach. I want somebody that's a little strong-willed than that. I want a defensive guy. All right? That's another video. But Kevin Stefanski's tenure, it started off good. Okay? I'm not going to sit here in front and act like he wasn't a good coach at some time. Because if we're going to go on merit, okay, his first 4 seasons, he was 2-time coach of the year. And the team made the playoffs 2 out of 4 years. Okay, they were 11-5 in 2020, the COVID year. So that he came out hot. He came out coach of the year. His rookie campaign. Browns made the playoffs. They went on the road. Even though he wasn't there, he was in the basement of COVID. Alex Van Pelt led the team. But that win still gets accounted towards Kevin Stefanski. Okay. 2023. Okay, 2023. And this is the season that, that season, I think, really saved Kevin Stefanski's job. Because if I think he would have had a third losing season in a row after you went to the playoffs, you're in descent. You're declining. Okay? Joe Flacco literally saved his job for another 2 seasons. So, Kevin Stefanski, he should be sending Joe Flacco some Christmas cards every Christmas for the rest of his life. Joe Flacco literally literally allowed Kevin Stefanski to coach 2 more seasons in 34 games. And what did he do to congratulate and thank Joe Flacco for that? He brought him back in on a garbage team in 2025. It's like, thanks a lot, Joe. I'm going to stick you out there. One of the worst offensive lines, one of the worst receiving cores. And then we're going to ship you off to Cincinnati 5 games later. Crazy, nasty work. That just proves to you that Andrew Berry's the last man standing. Okay? Just is what it is, all right? We're going to go on merit. What have you done for me lately? The NFL is not for long. Andrew Berry had a fantastic draft class, and people wanted to clump them together. Those are 2 separate dudes. Okay, they might have been tied at the hip at one point, but now I don't mind Andrew Berry staying. Okay, you still need a little bit of continuity. Okay, Andrew Berry's still intact. Doesn't seem like they're going to fire him. The reports are already out. Andrew Berry safe. Kevin Stefanski out. And I'm pretty sure people in legacy media, they not gonna like that. UCSS, everybody on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show outside of Garrett Bush. I don't want to say he caped for Andrew Berry, but he didn't exactly say that he should be fired like everybody else. I don't really see it that way. They're not tied at the hip, all right? They're 2 different jobs, okay? And if you based on what have you done for me lately, okay, Andrew Berry draft class was pretty good in 2025. Kevin Stefanski went 5-12. That's not good enough. Okay, it's not good enough. And I know Andrew Berry orchestrated the Deshaun Watson trade, but he's also right now he's orchestrating getting those picks back. So if you're Jimmy Haslam, you're looking at the whole body of work. You're like, all right, so yeah, Andrew Berry did orchestrate the Deshaun Watson trade, and that did set us back. But he's recouping those first round picks. The last, 2025, 2 first round picks. 2026, they'll have 2 first round picks. I suffice to say, Andrew Berry they're going to trade back. Okay? They're going to trade back because Andrew Berry's a smart guy. They're going to want to recoup all 3 of those ones that they wasted on Deshaun Watson. And if somehow they trade back, they are going to get 3 first round picks combined with the first round picks they already have. So that's 6 first round picks in 2025 combined, 2025, 2026, 2027. So if you based on that, he's recouped that. Whereas Kevin Stefanski, 8-26. There really ain't no justifying or getting around the fact that he's won 8 games in 2 seasons. Okay, if you won 8 games in 2 seasons, you're not going to be able to keep your job, as opposed to if you nail a draft. I really think Jimmy Haslam was like, hey, I'm giving y'all a clean slate. 2025 is going to be the determination if you keep your job or if we fire y'all. Because they both could have got fired after the 2024 season. And Jimmy Haslam, I think it was beyond fair what he did. I'm speculating now. Show me what you can do in 2025. Now, Kevin Stefanski had all of 2025. And this is what he did. He rested. He put all his eggs on a basket on a couple of bad low-end starting quarterbacks instead of doing what he should have did. Okay? You should have had an open competition with your rookie quarterbacks. Okay? That's what you should have did. Should have determined who was the best out of your rookies and rode with that rookie from day one. Okay? That's what you should have did, and maybe you keep your job. Okay? But this quarterback carousel that happened, that was why Kevin Stefanski got fired too. Okay? Because you're like, you didn't deal with the Shedeur Sanders situation well at all. You telling me the quarterback 4 on your roster was the guy that won the most games for your team this year? That's a bad mark on Kevin Stefanski. Your best quarterback on your team, and I don't care what the numbers say. What does the record say? He's a rookie quarterback. 3-4. Okay, I'm tired of people dissecting. Oh, Shador's QBR is this. His EPA is this. Oh, look at all of the advanced stats and metrics. I don't care. All that's irrelevant, because if you really want to keep digging, at rookie quarterbacks and their EPA, you're going to find stuff that you don't like. And then you're going to have to start backtracking, and then you're going to start moving the goalposts. Because when rookies like Peyton Manning, who ended up having a Hall of Fame career, I'm pretty sure his QBR was putrid his rookie season. I'm pretty sure his passer rating was bad his rookie season. He had 28 interceptions. There is no way his QBR could have been any good, or his passer rating any good. Nobody wants to bring that up. Okay, everybody wants to pile on Shador. Okay, and if we want to be real about it, Peyton Manning had all the reps with the ones from the jump. And I don't want to just pile on Peyton Manning because he's an awesome quarterback. He had a Hall of Fame career. He's a top 5 quarterback. He might be a Mount Rushmore quarterback. But that just proves to you that it takes time to develop quarterbacks. And in 2025, we just want a finished product. Y'all want a finished product. Y'all told me all summer long Shador was a 5th round pick. Y'all told me, Kevin Stefanski told me himself, he's a developmental quarterback. We need to sit him for 1 year. You need to sit the best quarterback on your roster. See, you messed up, Kevin Stefanski. You messed up by not evaluating the quarterback position properly. And then when you got Shador Sanders in the mix, it felt like you really didn't want him there. And he was winning games despite you. Okay? I'm just saying. You was having Shador throwing the trash cans early in the season. You don't think he forgot that? It seemed like Shador's energy was way off in the game, but he still found a way to drive the Cleveland Browns down the field and get your sorry self another win to maybe save your job. But Jimmy Haslam was like, not so fast, my friend. You went 8-26 in 34 starts, and you went 5-12 this year. Judge you on your merit. Your merit wasn't very good. I'm just saying, man. But yeah, Kevin Stefanski. Bye, Felicia. He is up out of here. All right. And yeah, anybody that's talking about, oh, he's going to get a job right away, that's irrelevant to me. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. I don't wish ill will on any head coach that gets fired from the Cleveland Browns. But at the end of the day, he ain't our coach anymore. So I don't really care about him anymore. I care about who the next guy is going to be, the process, and getting that next guy. And hopefully that next guy being a guy that can get us to a AFC North title, which we haven't had since 1989. People need to add that caveat. Sure, he was 2-time coach of the year, but he also did not win the division when he was the head coach. I don't really hear a lot of people talking about that. Did he win the AFC North? Did he win the North? He could have won the North this year if he had started Shador from the jump. Okay, you started Shador from the jump, you could have went 9-8. He was 3-4. If you extrapolate that over a season, that's like 7-10, 8-9. You were at least in consideration for the AFC North. The AFC North was won at 10-7 this year. I believe that's like the lowest mark it's been in quite some time. Okay, Kevin Stefanski in his tenure, he's won more than 10 games twice. You telling me they couldn't compete for an AFC North title this year? That's Kevin Stefanski right there. You should have been able to coach your guys up, and you should have been able to get your team to 9 or 10 wins this year. Talking about, oh, the talent is bad. Well, if the talent is bad, you need to coach the talent up. Okay, I'm just saying, man. If you 2-time coach of the year, people are like, oh, the Browns don't have talent. The Browns are uber talented on the defensive side. There are plenty of times where the defense, they had lapses. Okay, they gave up 29 points to the Titans. Not good. Okay, Titans are a 5-win team, just like the Cleveland Browns. Okay? I think they won 4 games. My bad. They won 4 games. Okay, so they're giving up a lot of points to these teams. They should have. They lost to the Jets. Bro, you lost to the Titans, you lost to the Jets. You lost to 2 teams that ended up with less wins than you. That's why you got fired, Kevin Stefanski. Not because you didn't have your quarterback like Mary Kay Cabot is trying to trying to say. Bro, you had Baker Mayfield, and you had Deshaun Watson, and you had Joe Flacco, and you had Jacoby Brissett. What are you talking about? You had Case Keenum. You had plenty of quarterbacks. What are you talking about? And you had Dylan Gabriel, who was your quarterback that you wanted to rock with, that y'all thought was a top 100 pick. Y'all missed me with that. He had plenty of opportunities. 101 games is enough of a sample size to determine your merits as a head coach with the Cleveland Browns. And it just wasn't good enough after year 4. Okay? After year 4 and before year 4. Okay? He went from an above 500 coach who did not lose back-to-back games, rarely in his first 4 seasons, to a coach that won 8 games in 34 chances. You cannot keep your job with that type of track record. All right, KSK rolling out. Bye, Felicia, and bye, Kevin Stefanski, and bye for now. Like and subscribe, KSK Sports. Help me get to 300 subs. I appreciate y'all. See y'all in the next one.